some of the matters that have happened yesterday. So before we go there, let's just take a look at this clip from one of the presentations that were done yesterday.
Some branches contain members who belong to other members. Other alien tendencies to be eliminated from the movement as part of renewal is a negative lobbying for positions which includes smear campaigns in the media as well as gossip and rumor mongering about one another. Also common are the disrespectful public spats as well as hurling insults at other comrades or members of the public, thereby bringing the ANC into disrepute. More seriously, we have experienced the shocking occurrences where armed comrades disrupt ANC meetings. This then raises the question, what exactly could be so much at stake that people would go so far to get their own way in the organization?
Anything. All right, just what the president was talking about yesterday with respect to the conflicts in the branches of the ANC and what is happening there. Let's welcome Ralph Mathekga. Ralph, just your thoughts about the build-up to the conference, the sometimes really difficult circumstances where members of the ANC seem to be fighting with each other. And, of course, the worst one was the situation in Klerksdorp where a leading politician there was also shot and killed.
Yeah, it's been quite a tense build-up to this conference. And some of the problems could not be sorted at branch or regional level. And I'm afraid what we are seeing here at the conference towards the start is that those problems have come to stall the actual beginning of the conference, the nomination processes here, because there are so much of the problems that came from those provinces. Also, Northwest Province is one of the problems where some of the delegations are here and they do not know the status as to whether they are going to play a role or not into this conference. And also the question of the credentials as well. And I think that the space that we have, unfortunately, in this conference does not really allow any meaningful solution to those problems because they have been in existence within the conference, within the party for quite a long time.
But NEC members have gone to these provinces. In the Northwest, there was, I think, Minister in the Police, Nathi Mthethwa. And here in the Free State, of course, there's now a task team that has been tasked with hosting a provincial conference in the next 3 months. The national leadership of the ANC, is it acting sufficiently decisively on these matters?
The national leadership of the ANC, I think they have tried to resolve this, but I think they have lost credibility among some of the groups within the provinces because had it not been, if those groups still had credibility, trust of the national leadership, they would not have gone to court. Some of the issues have spilled to court. We have seen the Northwest, it has spilled to court, and also the Free State issue, which continues to be a problem, not knowing exactly what direction this has to take. The Constitutional Court decided that the PEC has been unlawful. Now the question that seems to linger is whether anything that was touched by that unlawfully elected PEC is also unlawful. There is no clear indication as to whether the branches from the Free State province are eligible to play a role in this conference.
Didn't they clear that up about 2 days ago? Because a day before yesterday, they said something about the leadership of the ANC that the regional executive committees were running those elections together with the Electoral Commission. So it wasn't the PEC that was running those elections. So those delegates, I think 320 of them, would be eligible to partake of this conference and even vote.
In principle, it wasn't the PEC that was running those delegates, but we know that to some extent the PEC does the help when it comes to convening and also the lobbying. We know that the PEC do the lobbying and they've done quite intense lobbying lobbying of the branches through the nomination processes as it took place. And I think there was a complaint that has emerged yesterday. There have been reports that some of the branch members within the Free State province believe that the judgment is not limited to the PEC, but it extends to the participation of the branch members. For them, the branch members here cannot really meaningfully participate in this conference according to the court order. There is no much clarity on that because the written judgment is yet to come on.
It comes out today.
It comes out, yes. The written judgment is coming out today or Tuesday, and I think it will give us more clarity as to exactly the extent of the judgment. But certainly the ANC will try to improvise and limit the damage control of this and say that this is only limited to the PEC. The branches are independent, but we know that the branches do not sufficiently work independently from the PEC. The PEC is supposed to be the convener of these branches.
Nominations, what is happening with the nominations? Were those not concluded last night?
No, we haven't had a word about the nominations, and I think the problem with the nominations is that you cannot go into the nominations until you have clarified also the question of the credentials, because this speaks to who actually can play a role here, who's eligible to play a role in this conference. And my sense is that there could be some members who are not supposed to be here, and they thought they could come and clarify this here because those issues could not be addressed at provincial level. I believe that the reason why there has been a stalling of the beginning of the nomination is also because of our attempt to try to resolve that. The question of Northwest, I hear from the reports that it seems to be coming on the floor that some of the members of Northwest wants to discuss these issues here in the conference.
So just in terms of where to now, so the political report was presented yesterday, the organizational report was presented yesterday. Where to now on day two?
I think that what should be happening today is to sort out the question of the credentials and to sort out the question of the delegations who are supposed to nominate and therefore vote here. And once that is sorted, I think that is the big issue because we know that one of the main determinants of this conference has been around who is going to be the delegation. They have been elected very carefully. There's been conflict, particularly around the delegations who are supposed to be here. If that hurdle can be passed, I think the conference can therefore go ahead and the nominations and then begin the voting.
All right. Ralph Mathekga is a political analyst joining us this morning. We are interested, of course, in your